Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the New Jersey Titans Coaches Corner. My name is Tom Willms. I want to thank everyone for tuning in not only today, but all season long. And certainly want to thank Craig Doremus for joining us every week. Craig, thanks so much for taking the time today.
Appreciate you having me. Thanks, Tom.
Well, after nabbing 3 out of 4 points against the Northeast Generals, you start off this week with a Wednesday game against the Danbury Hat Tricks. 5-1 victory up in Connecticut. Tommy Bannister led the way with the hat trick. We'll talk more about him later, but Ben Sharrett getting the start and goal, 27 saves, taking full advantage of that opportunity, isn't he?
Absolutely. I thought for Benny, it was a good rebound start for him. He had missed some time with sickness. It was an opportunity for him to get back on track. He had a good week of practice leading in, and then obviously responded what I think was a real strong start. I think his play probably gets somewhat overlooked based on the score of the game, but I thought Benny made some really solid saves throughout, especially in the third period there where the game could have got a lot tighter. Stepped up, made some timely saves. I'm really proud for him, for a young guy to step back into the net like that and have that type of performance. I think was a big part for our team.
Then we move on to Friday, first meeting of the season against the team that eliminated you from the playoffs last year, the Maine Nordiques. And I know there's a lot of player turnover from year to year, but do you kind of harken back to last year and use that as some kind of motivation?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something we spoke about in terms of wanting to make sure we were focused and ready to go and make sure that we had the proper mindset going into the weekend. So definitely something we had addressed internally. And like you said, as much as there is turnover, there is a lot of parts remaining as well. And the feelings were fresh on mind.
It was a very wild contest. I mean, you've got to admit, 5-2 after 1, 8-4 after 2, 12-5 victory. Certainly not what's expected, but one difference between this year and maybe some other years is you find a way to win a game like that. That has to feel real good.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's important as a hockey team, you find ways to win in different types of games. This was, like you had mentioned, a little bit more of a wide open, weird, strange type of game. And I think for us to be able to find the back of the net that much was great. And I wasn't happy with our defensive effort through 2, but I think obviously we're a lot more sound in the third period there. And it helps us stretch the lead and make it that type of a margin there. So good learning points for us, stuff we took and learned from, and stuff we've worked on offensively. Then it's good to see that come true. And then obviously some teaching points for us heading into the game on Saturday and then moving forward.
Leading the way for that Friday game was Marcus Sang, 3 goals, 2 assists last year. He got a little bit of a taste of the North American Hockey League after playing with the 18U squad. How do you feel his game has really grown over the last 6 months?
I just think for him, it's about embracing a style play, a role. And, I think once he's identified and embraced it, now he can start to dominate in that role. And I think that's the next step we're looking for him and to take. And I think for a lot of the guys who are looking to break into the league, that's what it's about. It's finding out about what's going to make you successful as a player in this league and how you're going to carve your niche and spot into the lineup on a consistent basis. We've met with Marcus many times about what that would be. And him and his line mates, I thought, played extremely well. They were heavy and hard to play against. And obviously, as a coach, as I've said many times, when they're rewarded with the back of the net and some offensive production, it makes our life easier as a coach because now they start believing and trusting what you're saying because they see the results. It's not only team-oriented in terms of the win, but also for them, they have some personal success and accolades as well. So happy with those guys on that. And I just want them to continue to build on that and remember what it took for them to get that type of production and be successful. And I think they're smart and mature enough to get there. And we've been really pleased with that line's play.
Michael Young also picked up a hat trick, adding an assist as well. The former Long Island Royal has been a 20-goal scorer just about everywhere he's been. He's also been a captain and a leader for a lot of the teams he's played for since his 14U year. So I'm guessing that you kind of knew that he had this ability to put up this kind of performance.
Yeah, Michael's a guy who we identified pretty early last year and somebody that I know from a long time from being out in Long Island. And like you had mentioned, those are some of the key attributes to his game. I think he's always displayed a knack for finding the back of the net. And that's been no different here. I just think, again, it takes time to figure out the level of the league, the pace, the speed. And I think Michael's going through that growing process right now. I'm really proud of the way he's responding here. It hasn't been easy for him early in the season. He's been in and out of the lineup a few times and we've held him accountable. But I think him and Rocco Testabasi have been really good together. And they've both really responded to the challenges set forth by the staff. And I think they fed off each other well. And I think the most exciting thing for me is I think their best hockey is so far in front of them. And for those guys to provide production for us up and down the lineup is huge. And you see it there. That's the ability then that we have in terms of what we could do and make it hard for teams to match up with us.
On Saturday, much more of a standard game. A 4-1 win, though, for the Titans. Brendan Dumas with a goal and a couple of assists. His goal on Saturday, a wonderful team goal, tic-tac-toe passing from Anthony Calafiore and Tommy Bannister. Is it a big-time boost to see a line like that click so well so early in the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think every coach, as they open the season or grow out the season, you're always looking for that chemistry amongst lines and production amongst lines as well. And I think those three guys, knock on wood, have been excellent. I don't know if you could ask for much more right now. They're a constant threat. They do it the right way. They don't cheat the game. They play it the right way. They play 200 foot. And they're key contributors both with and without the puck for our hockey team, and they're leaders for our hockey team as well in terms of the energy and the mindset of our team and where we are day to day. I think Tommy and Anthony, obviously returning here as veteran players, have a lot of experience that's helped with the early season success, and I think they've brought Brandon along with them. And I think Brendan's responded really well to it as well. He has a chemistry with those guys, and they get along really well. And I think they complement each other so well. Each guy brings a different element to the game and to the line, and they've managed to work that together. And they've been productive here from day one. I mean, I think anybody in the league would love to have these guys, and we're fortunate enough right now where we just need them to continue doing what they're doing. And obviously, for them, I think the team accolades and the personal accolades will come along with that.
Much better defensive showing on Saturday. 1 goal, 31 shots, maybe a little high, but again, just the 1 goal given up. So after that combined 17 goals, were you happy with the transition to more of a defensive game on Saturday?
Yeah, again, I think for us as a staff, it's obviously something where we want to take that number down as much as we can in terms of goals against, shots against, quality scoring chances against. And, I mentioned to you earlier, like, I think to find ways to win different types of games, when you have it going offensively, when you don't, when you have it going defensively, when you don't. I think that's important attributes as a hockey team. I also think it helps barometer the game a little bit more. You're never too high, you're never too low. You don't feel like you're out of any game there. So for us, I think it was another important piece for us to be able to win a completely different game, like you had mentioned. Couldn't be more polar opposites from Friday night's offensive explosion to a lot more tight checking on Saturday. And for us to come out on top in both nights, I think is a credit to our staff and how they prepared the players and the way they responded as well.
Tommy Bannister named this week's East Division Player of the Week, 5 goals, 3 assists in the 3 games played. Brendan Dumas was honorably mentioned as well. As of this recording, they're the top 2 point getters in the entire league. Can you kind of expand on how they've gelled with the rest of the offense and how that's kind of improved over the past couple of weeks? After a slow start, we definitely have to admit that things are firing on all cylinders right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think their other line mate probably gets overlooked right now because he has less games played. But I think when you look at Anthony coming back to our team this year since then, and we've put those 3 together, they've really come a far way. And I think the production has been consistent. They've been a lethal line. I think they've been arguably the most dangerous line in the league since they've been put together. And again, like I said, they complement each other so well. Tommy and Brendan, obviously, I think they both had strong starts to the season, but I think it's been accelerated since Anthony's been there. And obviously, he's helped with a lot of assists here and putting up numbers that way. But I think the 3 of them feed off each other so well. And again, what people don't see is it starts off the ice, just how much they work together, the reps they put in together, how much they get along and goof off with each other. I think that's all an important part of it. Obviously, there's a respect and an admiration amongst the 3 of them, but I think the way they work and how they work Monday through Thursday is not what everyone gets to see. And that's why we're fortunate. We get to see those guys and what they put in every day. And I think for our forward group, it's important. Each guy has like their own unique story in terms of what it makes or what it takes for them to be successful. And I think for some of our other players, whether it's veterans or newer players, to get to learn from them and see them and talk to them every day is important because especially with Anthony and Tommy, it wasn't easy for them last year. They went through those growing pains and obviously stuck with it, learned, grow, get some experience. And now you can see the fruits of the labor here. And I think obviously Brendan's come in as a first-year player and been, he's assimilated very well into the locker room lineup. And he's been able to use his skill set. I think everyone sees that as soon as you watch Brendan, that he's got a tremendous skill set offensively and that he's very passionate. He works hard and he brings that exuberance to our dressing room and onto the ice every day. And again, putting the 3 of them together, it's been excellent. It's been great. I want them to continue to surge and be a big part of it for us. And I think everyone knows as you look at our team, they're an important part. They stir the drink for us right now. So hopefully they keep it going and stay hot and, keep having fun together.
Well, I'm sure you and the rest of the guys are enjoying this recent run of play, but now you head to Johnstown to take on the Tomahawks. First trip to Western PA. Certainly familiar with them after splitting the 2-game set in Middletown a few weeks ago. What have you learned from that 2-game set that you're going to try to bring into this weekend's contest?
The biggest thing to me is I just felt for us turning the page from that Friday night blowout loss to a sound win on Saturday was just the work ethic and the commitment to doing things the right, hard way, and the details that go into it. I thought that was the biggest difference. I don't think there was too much changing of systems or styles. Obviously, we made some substantial changes to our lineup following the game on Friday, and we shook things up a bit. And I think the guys who went in responded well. So for us, it's about the passion and the work ethic and making sure that we are ready to go for a full 60 minutes, not just playing it in spurts and not doing when it's convenient. And I think we've used that kind of moving forward here. I thought that part of the game's been apparent for us the last few weeks, and that's been a big part of our success story. So hopefully that Friday night is something we could look back on many months from now as a growing point. And, when we finally grew up and matured a bit as a hockey team and learned what it took to win in this league on a 60-minute basis. So, we know what we're up against. Like you had mentioned, we have a lot of familiarity with their team, their facility, their coaching staff. It's always a great battle. I think there's a lot of mutual respect amongst both clubs, and it's always a great battle when they go here and when we come there. And it's something we eagerly look forward to because it's a good weekend of hockey.
Well, speaking of their facility, those who don't know, the First Summit Arena, the old Danbury County War Memorial, it's a historic barn. It's hosted a number of minor league teams going back to the Jets, the Chiefs, and now the Tomahawks. Maine's filming location for the movie Slapshot, and it was the original Hockeytown, USA. Now, I know when I go to on the road and broadcast in a place like that, I like to take the time and kind of walk around, take a look, kind of soak it in. Now, I understand, of course, it's a business trip, but do you allow the guys that couple of minutes to kind of walk in, take a look around, and kind of understand, wow, this is a great place to play, and you just enjoy that experience?
No, it's something in the past we've actually done. We've had them just walk around, soak it in, like you said, a little bit. That way it's not so much a wow factor when you get on the ice, whether it be for warm-ups or for game time. I just don't know. Maybe we change it up this time. Maybe we just stick to the business, and the atmosphere will come and let it happen for us organically. It's something we have to speak about as a staff here because it's a great barn. It's a great building. There's so much history there. And, as an opponent, I've always respected their fan base and their organization and how they go about it. It's a pretty remarkable town. They're really passionate about their hockey and they support their team in spades. And they've always been respectful to our franchise along the way as well. And I think there's always been a friendly rivalry there. And even with the employees in and throughout the building, I know they've always been super kind and professional to Bobby and myself. And, it's something that you go in there and I hope we never lose the appreciation of where we are as coaches here either. We've been doing it now a little bit, and it's still a fun barn to go to. And obviously, if you go in there and get a win, it's great to hear the silence in such a historic building as well. So there's motivation both ways there. And I think it's a great opportunity for our young players. We talk about all the time what we're doing here is getting kids ready to go to college hockey. And I think that barn is a great environment to learn how to play that and deal with, an unfamiliar, hostile territory and deal with some fans who are really passionate about their team and not you so much. So I think for our players, it's a great learning experience in their young hockey journeys here and something they can use moving forward through college.
So this weekend, as we mentioned, 2-game set against the Johnstown Tomahawks, Friday at 7:30, Saturday at 7, and both on Hockey TV, of course. And fans, don't forget, the Titans return home the following weekend against the Danbury Hat-Tricks. For tickets and information, go to njtitansnahl.com. Criag Doremus, thanks so much for joining me today, and best of luck this weekend.
Appreciate it. Sounds good. Thanks, Tommy. I look forward to seeing everybody in Middletown against Danbury.
Well, that'll do it for this edition of the New Jersey Titans Coach's Corner. My name is Tom Willms, and we will see you real soon.